Today I'm going to show you how to make my 5 favourite emergency candles. Number 1. Start by taking a lump of Edam cheese and peeling off the wax coating. Next, take a strip of newspaper and roll it into a thin tight roll. We'll use this as a wick. Then tear off a strip of the cheese wax, put the wick in at one end and tightly roll up the wax until you have something which looks like this. Light it up and there we have our first finished candle. Number 2. Start by taking a block of butter and using a sharp knife, cut off a piece like this. Then, using a thin screwdriver, poke a hole down the middle. Next, push in a short length of cotton string to act as a wick. And finally, wipe the top of the wick with some butter to help it light. As it burns, the butter will start to melt and pool around the bottom of the candle. Number 3. Take a can of tuna in sunflower oil and using a thin screwdriver, poke a hole through the top. Be careful not to slip and don't go through the other side. Next, take a short length of cotton string and poke it through the hole and into the can. Use a pair of scissors to cut off any excess. Then, go ahead and light it up. Surprisingly, this doesn't really smell, and you can still eat the tuna once you've finished. Number 4. Take a wax colouring crayon and simply light up the end. It might take a little while to get going, but once it's started, it'll burn well. This may give off toxic fumes and should only be done outside. And finally, here's my favourite. Take an orange and using a sharp knife, carefully cut through the skin in a circle around the centre. Then gently use your thumbs to ease the peel off the fruit until you have something which looks like this. Make sure you have the centrepiece here because that's going to be our wick. Next, take some olive oil and pour it into the orange. Make sure to soak the wick with some, but don't cover it. Then light it up. It might take a little while to get started, but once it's going, it should last a long time. And if you want to, you can float it in a bowl of water and use it as a centrepiece on a table. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, click on the links on the right hand side, or take a look at my YouTube channel page. These candles should only be used outside in a well ventilated area where nothing else can catch fire should anything go wrong. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a really cool smoking pumpkin for your Halloween party. As well as your pumpkin, we're going to need a tin foil tray, a bottle of deionized water, a bottle of glycerin, 4 nails and some tea light candles. We're going to start by taking the glycerin, which you can buy from any high street chemist, and the deionized water, which you can get from any car spare shop, and pouring approximately equal amounts into a glass and mixing them together. This solution is now very similar to what's used in smoke and fog machines. Next, we need to design our pumpkin, hollow it out, and carve out the face. I made the teeth afterwards by slicing up some pumpkin offcuts and pinning them in with cocktail sticks. Next, we're going to take the 4 nails and push them into the base of the pumpkin, making a stand for the foil tray. Then we're going to light our candles and drop them down into the pumpkin, arranging them neatly in between the 4 nails. Next, we need to put our foil tray into the pumpkin and sit it on the nails. Then we're going to take the solution we made earlier, spoon a little into the foil tray and put the lid back on the pumpkin. It doesn't take long for the solution to heat up, and as it does, it gives off a smoke which pours out of the eyes and mouth. To get the best effect, do it in the dark and play around with the lighting. It gives off a lot of smoke, so it should be done outside in a well ventilated and safe area. For another really cool pumpkin trick, take a look at my flaming pumpkin video, also on my channel. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween! Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to build a flaming pumpkin for Halloween. Start by taking your pumpkin and drawing on your design. Hollow it out and carve out the face. To get the big flames coming out, we're going to put a toilet roll inside our pumpkin and soak it in kerosene. You could use paraffin or an equivalent camping stove fuel. Wait until you're outside to put the fuel on. We're going to use about 1/3 of a litre. Then go ahead and light it. It's a slow burning fuel, so it'll take a few seconds to catch. After a couple of minutes, the flames should start to look quite spectacular, and it should stay burning for a good couple of hours. To put it out, just use water. Happy Halloween, everyone! Today, I'm going to show you some of my favourite Halloween pumpkin tips. And we're going to start with teeth or fangs. So take your pumpkin and draw on a design. Hollow it out and carve out the face. You can see I've cut out a nice big hole for the mouth. Next, we're going to take the offcut from the mouth and using a sharp knife, carefully cut out fangs, like this. Next, we need to take our fangs and push a cocktail stick in the end. Snap the end off so it's a bit shorter, and we should have something which looks like this. And finally, start arranging the fangs in the mouth. Pretty cool, huh? A slightly different way to do teeth is cut them into the pumpkin as you're carving out the face. Then, using a sharp knife, carefully cut underneath the skin and peel it off. Go around all the teeth, and you should have something which looks like this. Next, we're going to look at using the pumpkin stem for a nose. So take your pumpkin, turn it on its side, and draw on a face. Then, turn your pumpkin around and cut open a lid at the back. Hollow it out, and then we can start to carve the face. For this one, we're going to cut the skin around the eyes and carefully peel it off. It should look like this. Then cut out the mouth and using the same technique, peel off the skin in front of the teeth. Next, we're going to carve out each tooth until you have something which looks like this. Then, using some black acrylic paint, we're going to paint in the eyes. Good looking fella, isn't he? Now for something a little different. Take the pumpkin, cut off the top and hollow it out. Then, using a hand drill, we're going to drill a series of holes in no particular pattern around the entire pumpkin. Don't forget to do the lid. Clean it up and it should look like this. Next, take a piece of wire, this was an old coat hanger, and hook it into one of the holes in the pumpkin. Loop it around to the other side and thread it through a hole opposite. Take the lid off and make sure the wire is bent around so the pumpkin won't fall off. We now have a hanging pumpkin lantern. Put some candles inside, dim the lights, and you've got your very own pumpkin mirror ball. And finally, take an orange ping pong ball and then using a black or red marker pen, draw on a pumpkin face. Then use a pencil to draw lines all the way around the ball to give it a pumpkin effect, like this. Now we're going to make it light up using an LED keyring. First, open up the keyring and take out the LED and batteries. Then tape the LED to the batteries like this. And bend the LED so it's upright. Next, using a screwdriver, we're going to carefully poke a hole into the bottom of the ping pong ball. And finally, sit the ball onto the LED. Dim the lights and we can have our own little army of ping pong pumpkins. You don't need to use a knife and it's a great one to do with children. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to see how to make a flaming or smoking pumpkin, click on the links on the right hand side or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Be careful, stay safe, and happy Halloween, everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make your own glow-in-the-dark skeleton. And we're going to make it out of these really cool glow-in-the-dark hot glue sticks, which I showed you last week. Dim the lights and you can see them glowing. They slide straight into your glue gun and work just like normal. To make our skeleton, I'm going to trace a picture I drew on the computer, which I'm printing off. If you want to use the same picture, you can screen grab this image and print it off as well. Next, we need to take some baking paper, cut off a strip, and lay it flat on the table. Then take your skeleton picture and lay it underneath the baking paper. The hot glue won't stick to the baking paper, so we can peel it off when we're finished. Then take your glue gun and carefully start tracing your image. I'm starting with a foot and working my way up the leg. Take it slowly and try your best to stick to the lines. It's quite a fun process, but it is easy to make a mess, so do go carefully. Before I start with the skull, I'm taking a piece of cord. I'm going to fix this to the top of the skull so I can use it to hang the skeleton up when it's finished. Hold it in place while you glue it in, and finish off the rest of the skull. And that's our skeleton done. Leave it to cool down for 10 minutes. Then, if you like, you can use a black marker to draw on some detail. I'm using this to draw on a face. So now we're finished. If you dim the lights a bit, you can see it glowing in the dark. Pretty cool, huh? Carefully peel it off the baking paper. And if you find there's any stringy bits stuck on, you can remove them with your fingers. Or if you need to, tidy up any edges using some scissors. It's pretty easy to make, and it looks really cool, even before you turn the lights out. But hang it up, and dim the lights, and it really comes to life. And it's perfect as a decoration for Halloween. And although I wouldn't recommend it in case you break it, but it is actually really quite robust and flexible. I even screwed this one completely up in my hand, and it didn't seem to damage it at all. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today, I want to show you these really cool glow-in-the-dark hot glue sticks. And I'm going to use them to make a glowing spider's web for Halloween. They work just like ordinary hot glue sticks and slide straight into your glue gun. While it's warming up, cut off a sheet of baking paper and lay it flat on the table. Then take your glue gun and squeeze through any old glue that's left in it until the glow-in-the-dark stuff starts coming through. Next, we need to start creating our spider's web, adding more glue sticks as necessary. I'm starting off by making a series of lines which cross in the middle, a bit like a star. Then I'm linking all these lines up with curved lines, starting from the middle and working towards the outside to create our spider's web. It's a bit difficult to see on this white paper, but when it's done, it should look like this. And if we dim the lights, you can see it glowing in the dark. Pretty cool, huh? Leave it to cool down for 10 minutes. Then carefully remove it from the baking paper. You can finish off by using a pair of scissors to tidy up the edges. And it's ready to use. You can hang it on a picture hook, or fix it in place with a strip of tape. You can add some plastic spiders to add to the effect, but I'm going to try making my own large spider using a black glue gun stick. Squeeze out the glow-in-the-dark glue until the black glue starts coming through. Then draw out the spider. I'm starting with all the legs, then drawing the head, and finally the body. Once it's cooled down, you can remove it from the paper, and I'm going to use some adhesive putty to stick it to the spider's web. You could of course glue it on. I'm also adding some of the smaller plastic spiders too. Dim the light and it's perfect for a Halloween party. You could make them as large as you like, or try making a glow-in-the-dark spider as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool glow-in-the-dark spiderweb phone case. Perfect for Halloween. I'm making it the same way as I made the golden glitter phone case last year, and we'll be using a hot glue gun. Start by taking some grease-proof baking paper and cut off a strip like this. Turn your handset off, lay it on the baking paper, and cut the paper so it's big enough to wrap up the phone. Turn it on its back and fold the paper over, and use a strip of tape to hold it in place. You'll probably find the tape doesn't stick to the paper all that well, so you might need to use quite a bit. Fold over the ends, and stick them in place too. When you're done, it should look like this. And place it face down on some baking paper. Next, we need to take a pencil and draw around the camera, the light, the speaker, the power button, the charging point and mic, the volume controls, and the headphone socket. And now we're ready to start making the case. So switch on your hot glue gun, and I'm going to be using these glow-in-the-dark glue sticks. They work just the same as the ordinary glue sticks, but when you turn the light off, they glow. So slide it into your glue gun and squirt out any old glue in the gun until the glow-in-the-dark stick starts coming through. Next, we need to squirt a line of glue all the way around the base of the phone, like this. Then draw around the buttons and sockets on the side of the phone. But we're going to leave the camera, light and speaker for the moment. We're now ready to start doing our design on the back, and starting from the centre, draw lines to the outside, making sure to avoid the parts we've drawn around. Work your way all around the case. Then start connecting the lines to make a spider's web design. I'm drawing in between the camera and light here, then working my way around. Once that's done, I'm doing another line of the web slightly further out, like this. And once you've finished your design, leave it to cool. I wanted to add a spider to the web as well, and I thought I'd try making one out of a black glue stick. So I squeezed out the glowing glue and started my spider design. But it was too intricate to make a nice spider shape, so I decided to glue on one of these plastic ones instead. I sat it in the middle of the web and used the glow-in-the-dark glue to fix it in place. And that's our Halloween phone case complete. When it's all dry, you can peel it off the paper and take out the handset. You can clean up any thin, stringy bits of glue using some tweezers. And tidy up the edges with some scissors. And there's our finished spider's web phone case. Turn the lights off and you can see it glow. Pretty cool, huh? It's nice and flexible and it looks really cool. Just unwrap your phone and slide it into the case. You might not want to use this as a permanent case, but it's great to take to a Halloween party and show it to the guests. This spider's web is a really cool design, and even with the spider glued to the back of it, it still slips in and out of your pocket easily. If you're going to try this, please remember glue guns do get very hot, and although I've never heard of anyone damaging their phone while trying this, you do so at your own risk. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more fun Halloween videos, or my last glue gun phone case video, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool glow-in-the-dark slimy spider jar. Perfect for Halloween. And we're going to be making our own slime. Start by taking a bottle of Elmer's glue and empty it into a bowl. You might find that other brands of PVA glue work just as well. Then take your empty bottle and fill it halfway with water. Put the lid on and give it a good shake to clean out the rest of the glue. Then tip that into the bowl as well. To make the slime glow, I'm going to use some glow-in-the-dark face paint. If you haven't got any, you could use a few drops of food colouring to give the slime some colour. Then mix it all together with a fork. Next, we need to take a small jug, half full of water, and a packet of borax powder. Add 1 tablespoon into the water and stir it in to help it dissolve. If you haven't got borax powder, you could try using a laundry detergent like Tide, or a bottle of liquid starch. You can check the ingredients to see if they contain borax, and use some of that instead of the solution I'm making now. Next, we need to stir our slime and tip in a small amount of the borax solution. You don't need a lot, and you can always add more later if you need to. You can see that straight away it clumps together and looks a bit slimy. After a while, you can mix it together with your hands. Keep going and you should end up with a nice slimy goo like this. It's really stretchy and great fun to play with. And when you dim the lights, it does glow in the dark. It will start to get dim over time though, so you'll need to recharge it with a bright light. To make my spider lamp, I'm going to take a glass jar and fill it with loads of slime. And to keep it glowing for a long time, I'm going to use a couple of glow sticks and bury them in the jar. Then stretch some of the slime over the top so it starts running down the side. And finally, stick on a load of creepy crawly plastic spiders. Dim the lights, and there we have it, our glowing slimy spider jar. Pretty cool, huh? It makes a great Halloween decoration, and you can just add new glow sticks and use it time and time again. If you want to see more ideas for Halloween, you can click on the links on the right-hand side or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you how to make these really creepy witch's finger cookies, perfect for Halloween. We're going to use plain flour, icing sugar, almonds, almond and vanilla extract, 1 egg, baking powder, butter, and some strawberry jam. Start by putting 250 grams of softened butter into a mixing bowl. Then add 125 grams of icing sugar, a teaspoon of almond extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and an egg, and carefully beat it all together. You could use an electric whisk for this if you prefer. Once you've beaten it all together, add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 200 grams of plain flour. Then carefully mix it all in. And finally, add another 200 grams of plain flour, so we've now added 400 grams in total, and stir it all in to make a nice smooth dough. After a while, you can use your hands to knead it. And you should end up with something which looks like this. Once it's done, we need to put it in the fridge to chill for about 30 minutes. After that, we need to grease a baking tray with some butter and take the dough out of the fridge. To make the cookies, we need to take a small amount of dough and roll it out into a finger shape. Then use your thumb to make a couple of impressions like this to form some knuckles. Next, use a knife to give your knuckles some lines. Then take an almond and mould it into the end of the finger to form a nail. We're then going to remove the nail, put in a small amount of strawberry jam, and put the nail back on to make it look like dirty fingernails. Then carefully put your finger onto the baking tray. So, roll out the dough, make a couple of indents, mould in a fingernail, and add some knuckle lines. Put in a small amount of strawberry jam, and replace the nail. Then transfer it onto the baking tray. Make as many as you like, and they'll all be a little bit different. I had enough dough to make 25 fingers. And when they're ready, place them into a preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes until they're slightly golden. When they're done, take them out of the oven and leave them to cool. If you like, you can put them on a rack. And when they're cool enough, they're ready to serve. Pretty cool, huh? They look fantastic and they're great for Halloween parties. If you like, you could add a little green food colouring to the dough, or even stick on a chocolate drop or a sweet to look like a wart. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more great ideas for Halloween, you can click on the links on the right-hand side, or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and, as always, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you how to make really cool glow-in-the-dark spooky eyes. Perfect for Halloween. Start by taking a cardboard tube. This one's from a kitchen paper roll. Then, using a pen, draw on a set of spooky eyes. When you're done, take a pair of scissors and carefully cut them out. You should have something which looks like this. To make them light up, we're going to use glow sticks, and for this one, I'm going to use a red one. Once you've activated your glow stick, pop it inside the cardboard roll. Then use some tape to cover over the ends. This will stop any light escaping out of the side. When you're done, it should look like this. Dim the lights, and there we have our spooky eyes. Pretty cool, huh? You can try experimenting with different types of eyes and different colour glow sticks. And they're perfect for hiding in the hedge, so at night time it looks like there's something in there watching you. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, including this one about carving pumpkins, click on the links on the right-hand side, or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Have fun, stay safe, and happy Halloween, everyone!
Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool pumpkin message board. Start by taking a pumpkin, using a sharp knife, carefully cut off the top, clean it up, and empty out the contents. We're going to make a message board similar to this light box. These are really cool. You just slide the letters in and out to customize your own message. And I'm going to be using these letters for our pumpkin. Hold one of the letters up against the pumpkin and mark the top and bottom of it on the pumpkin with a pen. Do this around the pumpkin to make the message board as long as you like. And I'm doing a second row underneath. When you're done, join up the dots like this. And use a knife to carefully remove the skin off the pumpkin. Do go carefully and try not to cut outside the black lines. Do the same along the bottom. And when you're done, it should look like this. If we take one of the letters, you can see that because of the curve of the pumpkin, we can't get it to stick into the groove. So we need to use our knife again to carefully cut the recess a bit deeper and try to flatten it out as much as possible. Do this across the top and along the bottom, and do go steady. When you're done, it should look like this. And you can see it now holds letters firmly in place. If there's any black pen still on the pumpkin skin, you can use a sponge and some soapy water to gently scrub it off. And there's our pumpkin message board, ready to use. Just take the letters from your light box and clip them in place to write whatever you like. To make it glow, you can insert a tea light candle and light it up. Put the lid back on and dim the lights. Of course, if you want to, you can also draw a face on the back of the pumpkin to have it double-sided. Carefully cut out the eyes. And I'm giving this one teeth too. So on the one side we've got the face, and on the other side's our message board. To make it glow really bright, I put an LED flashlight inside instead of the candle. It looks really good and it's great fun to do. And of course you can customise your message board to write whatever you like. Pretty cool, huh? You could write personalised messages, or leave it outside your house so your guests know where the party is. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more Halloween and pumpkin videos, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you a really simple way to make glittery slime. Perfect for Halloween. And we're going to be using this green glitter glue from Elmer's. We'll thin it down with some water, then add some Stay-Flow liquid starch to turn it into slime. Start by removing the lid from the glue and squeeze out the whole bottle into a bowl. When you've got as much as you can out, fill the bottle halfway up with some water. Put the lid back on and give it a good shake to try and clean out the bottle. Then tip it into the bowl and use a spoon to mix it together. Next, we're going to add our liquid starch. Start by pouring in a small amount, and you can always add more later. What I'm pouring in here actually turned out to be too much, and I'll show you why. Once you've poured in your starch, start mixing it with a spoon. And you should find it starts clumping together and turning into slime pretty quickly. Then start kneading it with your hands. You're trying to get a nice smooth consistency. You can see this has actually become stringy and not very nice. It's fine if that's what you want, but it's actually not what I'm after. I left it alone for 5 minutes, and it became sort of lumpy and broke into pieces as I squidged it through my fingers. I think it's because I added a little too much liquid starch. So I tried to rescue it by adding a bit more water. I filled the glue bottle halfway up again and tipped it into the bowl. So I've now used 1 bottle of glue and the same amount of water. It took a little while of squidging it into the slime to mix it all together. But after a few minutes, it turned out just how I wanted it to. And it's great fun to squeeze and stretch. You can stretch it over the bowl and watch it as part of it sinks and part of it bubbles. It's got a nice shiny sparkle in it because of the glitter. And it's great for making or playing with at a Halloween party, or for using as part of your decorations. You could cover some of your decorations with it, or make some creepy spider slime by adding plastic spiders. Or I'm going to go one step further and use it to decorate this pumpkin which I carved out earlier. Pretty cool, huh? If you've got any slime left over, you can keep it in a jar and use it again another time. Or you could do what I did last year and stick a glow stick and spiders in the jar to make a creepy glowing spider slime decoration. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see how to make magnetic slime which doesn't use liquid starch, or some of my other videos, you can click on the links, or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you how you can draw on your hand using face paint, so that when you put it in front of a black background, you get this really cool illusion. We're going to be using this water-based face paint, and it's really easy to use. Just take out one of the small brushes, dip it into some water, and mix the colour into a thin paste. I'm starting with the black. Then start drawing the design onto your hand. I'm putting a black spot in the middle of my palm, so when I hold it in front of a black background, it'll give the effect of a hole right through the middle of my hand. Next, I'm taking another brush and I'm going to mix the red into a paste. And I'm using this round the edge of the hole to try and give it some depth. You can add some other colour and darken it down with some black. I'm using some more red and black around the outside. And I'm smudging it in a bit with a finger. You can highlight certain areas with some white and keep adding layers of colour until you create an effect you like. I'm also going to make it look like I've lost the ends of two of my fingers. So I'm going to start by painting them black. And you need to make sure you go around the sides of the fingers too. Then I'm using some red again to create a line of blood around the ends of the severed fingers. I'm also drawing some blood marks down the stumps. I use some black to darken it down a little, and highlight other areas with some white. I'm also putting some red around this side of the hole, and some black bruising and blood. I'm going to darken down this layer a bit more, and add some fresh red blood. And that's our special effects makeup complete. Next, you need to dim the lights and put your hand in front of a black background. And it looks horrific. Of course, you can add some screaming. Ah! Ah! It really hurts! And you can waggle your fingers and stumps around. It's really cool for a Halloween photo shoot or for a video like this. Maybe you've been attacked by a zombie or had a nasty Halloween accident. It looks better through a camera than it does in real life. And you can make it look like you're putting your finger in the hole. Or even a pencil. Pretty cool, huh? But of course, it's all just an illusion. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching.
Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool pumpkin, which is eating a mini pumpkin. We'll need to use one large pumpkin, and I've got 3 small ones, although you'll only really need 1. And we're going to start by carving the large one. So take a sharp knife and carefully cut off the top. Remove it and clean it up. Then we need to clean out the inside, so I'm using a knife and a spoon to empty it out. When you're done, it's time to draw on your design. I'm using one of the mini pumpkins to gauge the size of the mouth. Then with a marker pen, I'm drawing this sort of teardrop shape around the mini pumpkin. This line is actually going to be the end of the teeth and roughly the opening size into the mouth. Take your knife and carefully cut out the shape. Don't worry if you don't stick to the line exactly. You can take your mini pumpkin and test it for size. Next, we need to use our pen again to draw around the teeth for the mouth. Then draw in lines for individual teeth. When you're done, it should look like this. For the next part, I'm using a small knife, and I'm actually going to be using the one on my penknife. We need to cut just through the skin on the outside line all the way around. Then cut a small gap in between individual teeth. Do the whole top row, and of course the bottom. When you're done, you need to carefully remove the pumpkin skin from each individual tooth. This bit is a bit fiddly, so do go carefully and take your time. As you progress, you can really see it starting to take shape. It does take a bit of time, but I actually found it quite therapeutic. Once you're done, tidy it up as neatly as you can. You might need to clean out the gap in between the teeth a bit more. And when you've finished, it should look like this. And it's starting to look really cool. Now we've finished the mouth, I'm drawing on the eyes. You can do whatever design you like, but I'm doing these squared off, angry, aggressive looking eyes. And I'm also drawing in a nose, and pupils. Use a knife again to carefully cut it all out. And I'm using a black marker pen to colour in the pupils. And that's our large pumpkin complete and ready to use. You can push the mini pumpkin straight inside his mouth, but of course it's more fun if we carve a face into the mini pumpkin as well. I drew on a sort of sad and shocked look, then cut out the design, and emptied out the contents through the mouth so I didn't have to cut off the top. And there's our mini munchkin, ready to be eaten. Just wedge it in between the teeth, and that's our Halloween pumpkin finished. Pretty cool, huh? The teeth hold the small one in place, and the whole design looks really good. The poor little munchkin looks really terrified, and the large pumpkin looks like he's just about to chew. I also carved some faces into the other mini pumpkins to place them alongside. These guys look a lot more happy and jovial. Maybe they don't know what fate awaits them. It makes a really good display, perfect for a Halloween party. You could leave it in the house or place it outside. It's really good fun to make, and it'll surely impress your guests. You can, of course, place a tea light candle inside, light it up, and dim the lights. You get a really nice glow from inside the pumpkin. And you could use a flashlight torch to light up their faces. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more pumpkin carving and fun Halloween ideas, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching.